of them hoes follow like Twitter. Nigga, you know everything, Taylor. If you ain't got no paper. On my level, there you go, Virgo. So you, whether you feel like someone's on your level, or you may feel like someone is not on your level, or someone may feel like you're not on the level, or someone feels like you're on the level. Put your foot in the shoe that fits you. Homie, I'm on my level, yeah, 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 take one shot to the brain and all the 3 more shots. Yeah, I'm on my level, 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 yeah. When my engine motor roar, when I back out the garage, gin got me drunk as fuck, stumbling out the car. Cause I'm struggling trying to find the keys to my car, cause I be going hard. Just like the movie. You may be in conflict right now, Virgo. First card out, 5 of Wands upright. I keep some bad women with me in the bag, sipping rosé with some hands twisting. But when I say I'm balling, that don't mean that I'm playing, man. For being toxic. Okay, look. So whether you fighting demons, that's what you fighting. You fighting different passions and different perspectives and different mentalities you got, or you in some sort of conflict against some demons. You used to kick it with folks on demon time 24/7. And now you trying to change the motive. Now you trying to raise your level. You may have realized the demons you was kicking with wasn't on your level. And now that you want to remove yourself, now that this place doesn't make you emotionally fulfilled in some way, shape, or form, these people don't make you happy, now you're in conflict. Whether it's you're in conflict because you're trying to leave the space, now you're trying to elevate out of the space, or you're in conflict because you are now going against what you usually go against. And the people who are in your space, while you were going that way, when you used to be going that way, are now in friction with you because they see you changing directions. See, that was 2. I ain't gonna take that. Yeah, look, you expressing yourself. It's the 4 swords in reverse. You're no longer holding your tongue about your truth. You're now expressing your truth. To the brain and all the 3 more shots. Hey. Yeah. In the past sense, in the swirl on my level. Yeah, you no longer invested. Yeah, it's like you don't want to go that way no more. I don't want to do this anymore. And because you don't want to do this anymore, because you're no longer emotionally confused, you're in friction with your immediate environment. Or you are in conflict. It's the Page of Wands in reverse. So whether it's you don't want to do this, and because you don't want to do this, you're in conflict, or you're not doing this, because you're not doing this, you're in conflict internally or externally, or because you did something you shouldn't have done, you expressed something from a lower energy, how you invested yourself, how you took the first step was a bad first step, and because you did that, you are now in conflict, internally or externally. Cheat codes. Yeah, that's what you thought you had cheat codes to life. You thought you had cheat codes. You thought you had shit figured out, Virgo, is what you thought you had. You thought you could play a game and you lost. Virgo thought Virgo had cheat code in some way, shape, or form. You thought you had the money cheat code. You thought you had the love cheat code. You thought you had the life cheat code. Only to turn up in conflict because the cheat code, you pressed the wrong button on the controller on the inputs, and now that shit manifested you being in conflict. Put your foot in the shoe that fits you, Virgo. You know if you caught up in some bullshit right now, if you in conflict, you in conflict. It's alright. Yeah, if it's you versus someone outside of you ain't losing sleep over a situation with you, Virgo. I'm gonna be honest with you. Someone is not stressed because look, they realize it was a bad emotional investment when someone may have expressed their emotions or expressed themselves, and then it brought them to a lower state of feeling and or thinking about the space with Virgo, and then so it's like, all right, somebody ain't losing sleep over a situation no more. If it's you versus you. If it's you versus someone outside of you, excuse me. If it's you versus you, you're not losing sleep, but you're in conflict. You're no longer confused, but now that you're no longer confused, now that you know you don't want to be here, now that you know you don't want to do this, I don't want to express this because it's of a lower energy, I don't want to invest my passion here. Now you're in conflict with those around you because you're going against the grain, or you're going against Virgo's normal. When Virgo used to just do it, when Virgo was stuck in Virgo's mind, when Virgo couldn't stop thinking, when Virgo was confused in some way, shape, or form, when Virgo was stuck, Virgo wasn't in conflict, but it's like you were doing something that was keeping you trapped, keeping you in a cycle of going through the same hurt or the same mental or internal traumas. You were just reacting to a trauma and you were keeping yourself in that cycle. Now that you're out of your head, now that you're more aware, you're more conscious, you're more present, you realize you don't want to do this anymore. Or I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't have done this, because you're and now you're in conflict. You feel me? So whether you're in conflict because you don't want to be negative, or you don't want to invest or express yourself immaturely anymore, and that's putting you in conflict with those around you, because it's like you can see now, you're no longer stuck, you're no longer in your mind about a situation, about who needs to be in your immediate circle and who doesn't need to be in your immediate circle, and that's putting you in conflict with those around you, because it's like you're cutting folks off. Or it's you did something negative. You did something from a low emotional expression. I mean, a low passion. You took the first step towards this business, or took the first step towards this relationship, or took the first step towards this friendship, this idea, this job. You did it from a lower place. And because you did it from a lower place, you got put in conflict because you didn't get what you wanted. Now you're not confused about that space no more. It's like you can see something clearly now. Because you thought you had a cheat code and you quickly figure it out, you don't. Again, if it's you versus someone outside of you ain't losing sleep over space with you. Because it's like how you took your first step made someone realize maybe I don't need to be stuck in this space with Virgo in some way, shape, or form. And now that put you in conflict. Because of how you invested in something, though. It's how you handled it. Whether you didn't invest or you mishandled something. Your first step you thought you had cheat codes. You thought you was the shit. Mm-hmm. After a while, it's okay to think you the shit. But humble yourself. You can't just do any old thing just because you think you know better. There's always a bigger fish. Always a bigger fish. That's not a flip. Y'all can't see it because it's dark. That shit is wild though. Nope. I'll take that. Yeah. Death in reverse. If it's you versus you, it's like you don't want something. You're in conflict because you don't want something to be over, even though you mishandled something. Even though either you didn't invest in something or how you invested in something was from a lower place. And because it was from a lower place, every step after that was unstable. Every step after that was unbalanced because the first step wasn't a good step. But you still thought you could keep going, or you thought something would work. You thought you had cheat codes, only to find out you don't have cheat codes. Now you're in conflict because you want to hold on to something that's already over. You're out of your mind about what is ending. You're no longer confused about what's ending, but it's ending. You don't want it to end, but it's ending, and you're in conflict because again, it's something was long term for you. It was a good investment. It was a good opportunity. But how you handled it, you fucked it up. All me, and you can't blame nobody but yourself. It's all you. You did it. And that's why you're in conflict. That's why you got problems right now. Because you fucked up. Look, you didn't take a step back to look at a situation. You just did something. You just invested in it. It's like you didn't think before you spoke type shit. And now something's ending. You don't want something to be over. You don't want this friendship to be over. You don't want this relationship to be over. You don't want this business, this idea, this direction to be over. And you're in conflict because you don't know how to stop it. And it's a burden. Yeah, look, Hierophant in reverse. You may be dealing with a Taurus. You may be dealing with a Scorpio. Put your foot in the shoe that fits you. But because how you did something, how you handled something, it's all on you. You did this. You're in conflict because you may know you did this. You feel me? You don't want it to be over, but you don't know how to stop it from being over. Because look how you were the Hierophant in reverse. And you may have been talking lower towards the situation to everyone you knew, everyone in your immediate environment. You expressed yourself lower when you thought about this, when you were talking about this person, when you were talking about this job, when you were talking about this relationship, when you were talking about whatever it is. How you expressed yourself to your community in regards to whatever this thing is, you expressed yourself in a lower space, and that shit caught up with you. Put your foot in the shoe that fits you there, Virgo. But I'ma fuck with you.